So I wanted to talk about rolling today. So the main idea of this is, especially when we up our exercise, we can get quite tight muscles, and you might get muscle soreness. Most common is around your calves, maybe your thighs, up along your glutes, up along here by your IT band. If you're doing a lot of upper body work, you might get shoulders, arms, that kind of stuff. And one way to help relieve that is a thing called rolling, or foam rolling, or myofascial release it's also called. Now, I wanted to do this, just a really quick demo. I don't want to spend all day doing it because you can go into loads of details, but I don't think we really need it. There's two tools anyway for this. One is a foam roller. That's this guy. You might have seen them before. This one I got to have a ridged one. And the other thing that's really good is a ball. Now, if you can see this, I actually can't even remember where I got this ball, but it looks like it's been chewed by a dog. But it's the firmness there. You might be able to see I can squeeze it, so there is some give in it, but it's not as soft as, say, a tennis ball. It's somewhere between maybe a tennis ball and a slitter, that kind of thickness. So you want it to be nice and firm for what we're going to do here. Now, I would say if you're going to invest in anything, for rolling, especially if you're doing things like running or whatever, it's a great thing to do. Don't bother with these. Just, I think you don't need them. Get a couple of these balls. You can get them in places like Mr. Price, have these things called massage balls. They normally come in a set of 3. 2 of them are already pretty soft, and one then is nice and firm, so you could use that one. You can get them in elbows. Some people use really, really firm ones like a croquet ball, but I would say something with a bit of give in it. Now, I'm just going to show you quickly. I'm going to do this on the floor. Again, just a couple of pointers for this, and like I said, it's to kind of relieve tight muscles. When you're doing this, do this before you work out, or do it as a standalone exercise, so as something sitting in front of the television in the evening. And you can get down onto your roller. So where you want to roll, a couple of pointers first. Number 1, only ever roll on muscle. So don't roll on a joint where there's a joint joining. Don't roll on bone. Don't roll directly on your spine. So all of those avoid. They were the main pointers. When you're doing this, you're looking for a point in a muscle where you might have something like a knot or a build-up of tension, and you're trying to work into that area. So your movements are going to be small and they're going to be precise. So starting here, right, this is how I would say to do it. Start down by your ankle, so just above, say, where your ankle is, where you have some kind of a bone and or some kind of muscle and tendon there. Put your body weight on, so you lift yourself up, you're going to put your body weight down on top of it, and you're going to move really in small movements. You're going to just move up and down, kind of inch, half an inch either side. You're going to move around till you actually feel some pressure, and what you feel is it's like a digging into a knot. If you've ever had a sports massage or anything like that, you'll feel it. So you just keep moving, kind of left and right, up and down, a little movement each side. You'll see my face change when I get to a point, so I kind of know where I'll be if I move up a bit here. Keep your muscles soft as well, you don't need to tense them. So you work into it there. So, okay, I have very tight calves, so this is where I always get it. You get that kind of, where your face might twitch a small bit. That's the point where you work it in. So if you find that position where you get that kind of eye twitch or lip twitch, keep working into that. You roll very gently, like a centimetre each side, up and down. You can see my movements are tiny here. You work into that knot. You really work into it, and try and release some of the tension there. 10, 15, 20 seconds max. Once that's done, then you keep moving around again to find another position, another point where you might feel a bit of tension building up, and again work into that area again. So when you're doing this, like, you could spend, if you know, say for example, you tight calves, do it on your calves 5 minutes before a run, do 5 minutes there. If you want to do a full body one, then set aside maybe 15 or 20 minutes of a day and work through your full body. So the way I do it is one side first, one calf muscle, then the other side, then I work up my thighs. I work left, right, out to the outside as well, particularly up around here. This point usually is somewhere that can, up around the glutes. Again, depending on the activity you're doing, rubbing it in there, putting your body weight nice and heavy down onto it, and rolling in. Then you can do it on your front. You can lie on your front, no shins on your front, the bone, you just do your muscles along the tops of your thighs. And then in around again, just there by your glutes, so you're sitting right down on top of it, up around here. I don't normally do my back either, but I would do my chest maybe. So if you want to do upper body again, this is where, you can see it in the mirror now. I normally do standing. If you can see here, put the ball to your chest. So if you're doing a lot of push-ups or anything like that, you can just work it in up against the wall, rotate it in. Same with up here, if you have any tightness up around there, put the ball just there where the muscle is and roll it around nice and gently. And use the wall for that. Again, you move it around till you feel that kind of, that point of pressure. It's almost like one of those, you know, that bittersweet kind of feeling. And you work it through, so you feel the knot working out. So hi Lorraine, yeah, so that's what I would say to do. It's like I said, a ball that's nice and firm. Don't bother with the roller. You know, if you have one, you can still do the same motion. You do them for the big muscle groups, like on your legs. But I think the ball is much more precise, and you can use it for different parts of your body, even your arms. So again, if you say have a sore upper arms, put the ball on your arm and roll around up against the wall. I know you can't really see that, but basically the wall is there, and I'm just moving my arm in small circles, really small movements, finding points that, you know, that need to be kind of triggered, that need to be released, and working into those for a couple of seconds and moving on. So they're my pointers. It's a really, really great, really cheap way of working out tightness. And like I said, particularly in muscles like your calves and stuff like that. Speaking from my own personal experience, as women it's usually lower body we kind of have more tightness in. For men it could be a combination, but for us usually, for women it's usually lower body. So again, roll out the backs of your calves, fronts and backs of your thighs, up along your glutes, chest if you need it, shoulders and arms. And it's great, yeah, so give yourself a massage. You don't have to pay anyone to beat you up into the sports clinic. Yeah, and you can do this if you were, you know, if you're wondering how often you should do it. You can't really overdo it depending on the amount of activity you're doing. Like I know, like sports people, famous sportsmen or women, they spend half their life probably on a roller or on a ball, like just, you know, keeping their muscles really supple. So you could do it before, say, a long run or a long session. At the weekend, take 20 minutes while you're watching telly and just roll out, and let all the knots loose, and you'll find it really, really help. So if you've got things like, yeah, like I said, lower body stuff, and particularly if you find your calves getting sore from running, or if you're squatting but you're not getting your squat positioning right, if you loosen up the different muscle groups, that can really help. Okay, so I hope that was useful. Let me know how you get on with it, or if you need any more pointers, or if you want any more information about it, happy to share. Like I said, it's a great thing to do. And again, you just do it sitting down. It's not like you have to go for a run or anything like that. You can just lie in front of the television, ignore any weird looks you get from the rest of your family, and just roll it out. Okay, let's look everyone. Bye.